Hello boys and girls, it's a Thursday morning, 20 past 11, well 22 minutes past 11, no, this watch is wrong, it's 20 past 11. And yeah, we had a storm last night in Scotland, and a little boat that is usually on the river has it's gone. It broke from its moorings and has now gone upstream somewhere else, so what a shame. Anyway, okay, so basically the reason I'm doing this video, wasn't planning to do it, but as I've said before, certain things all of a sudden pop into, well not my head, but pop into maybe some sort of feed that I'm connecting to, and then all of a sudden it prompts a response. So I just thought I'd do this one. So it relates obviously to our work shy friend Lloyd Evans. Again, I know you're thinking, and it was this thing that even recently Lloyd has been giving it out that the reason why he's had to close down his company and sack his wife and not so gracious Tibor is because this defamation campaign has ruined the man, and it's all Kim Sylvia's fault, and his pit bull terrier Joel, and that the rest of us who've had dare to comment about the whole sex scandal and subsequent events, that the reason why we've done so because we are all damaged individuals, because most of us were brought up as Jehovah's Witnesses, and we're, what is it self-cannibalisation, I think it was, he said, that we're all sort of destroying each other, infighting, toxic, wants to keep away from it, blah blah blah, the superlatives just ring on and on and on, just clickbait, sound bites, you know, it just goes on. And it's basically to blame all of us, to say that we are the ones, because we're ex-JWs and we've been brought up in this organisation, that we are the ones who've got the problem with what he's done, what he stood for, what he still claims to stand for, and especially that video that he did about things you don't need to know about my private life. And, you know, that's what he's done. So he's saying all the extreme responses, which has been going on now for, wow, it's a long time now, about 18 months, are purely our fault because of a mistake he made. However, I always thought I would love to get the perspective on what other people who haven't been tarnished by their witnessy upbringing, or even know who Lloyd Evans was, who either watched the John Cedars channel or the Lloyd Evans channel as it was rebranded, and what would they think when they didn't have any prejudice against Lloyd Evans, that they would just watch it and just face value watch the video of his things you didn't need to know about my private life, and make their own decisions or you know, about after watching the video. And funny enough, guess what, somebody put up on Reddit a thread, something like called "To Apologise for Cheating on Your Wife," and I don't think it's all the video, I haven't been watching it, no, it's only 2 minutes long, so it isn't clearly all the video. So it's obviously this bit where he goes on about not having mastery over his penis, blaming everybody else, is prostitution usage, you know, what was it, every couple of months for over 4 years or whatever it was. I'm basically blaming everybody else. So anyway, somebody put this video up, if this is all the one, and wowee, you know, literally there are more people responding to this than there ever was to anything that anybody put up, that I put up a video or anybody else put up a video subsequently. It's got a, you know, literally, I wouldn't say it's gone stratospheric, but you know, there aren't people on the moon who are, you know, that dead Indian moon landing, hello, are you there? But like, call me is a bitch. So anyway, yeah, but it's gone pretty big, because if for instance, somebody put up a day ago, you don't have mastery of your penis, you saying you have a free willy. Very funny actually, this is pretty funny stuff. So 2.3 people, 2,300 like that one. And then somebody said, no, I was prisoner at a penal colony. So funny again. Now these replies going on, there's literally 12 replies to that. 25 more replies to you don't master your penis, and it goes on and on. One person puts up a day ago, I have no idea who this is, which reinforces the point that you just take Lloyd Evans, the man, the myth, the legend, and nobody knows who this guy is because he's only really known within the XJW community, and then all of a sudden just watch that video, you think, OMG. So this person says, I have no idea who this is or what the situation is. Just from the clip though, you can tell he is a shitty person. Oh dear. And it goes on and on. He says, I was relieved to hear that it was with prostitutes because ain't no two women going to just have sex with him because they want to, right? Why does his head look like an Angry Birds character? Sexually tampered with, that's new. Craziest jowls I've ever seen, it's like a cow's udder. I hate it when people use the word mistake for this shit. You made choices. Admit you wanted to do what you did and stop hiding behind a mistake. And somebody put, yep, because of course he has no mastery over his penis. None of it is his fault. This is fun of exactly the same thing that over a year ago, I was saying and other people were saying, and yet we were absolutely destroyed by the Cedarites, the Lloydites, the Branch Lloyd Davinians who were just saying, no, you're just jealous, blah, 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 blah. He made a mistake, blah, 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 blah. And yet here we have worldly people who were absolutely taking an opinion on this guy based on the short clip. Let's see, there's other bits as well. That's 3 or 4 too many fucking years, my dude. I am not perfect, but I've never cheated on my wife. Anyway, it just goes on and on and on. So I will do a wee link if anybody wants to, again, amuse themselves over a cold day with a hot drink and a warm log fire, and they can watch this. And then you can see, and hopefully the Lloyd Davidians, the Cedarites, the Lloydites will watch this, and if they wade in as they did on my videos and other people's videos long ago trying to defend this guy's actions, they will get absolutely destroyed. So even we've got a wee bit where, of course, Saintly Brandon says, quit blaming victim, dude. You cheat on your wife. It isn't about all. Focus on you and your family. Bizarrely, we've been saying that for ages. And that was, of course, when Lloyd came back and referred to him as Saintly Brandon. Of course, he has complete mastery of his penis. One of the famous lines of all time. In the whole of the Lloyd Evans scandal, I think that will just go down. In fact, that may be put on his tombstone when he leaves this earth. So anyway, yeah. If you want to watch that, I'd do it. I'm not reading all the comments because that was enough to me just to prove the point, to be honest with you. On a slight side note, there was this guy around about a year ago, I think, an artist. Now I use the word artist in the vaguest terms of the word. A musician, again, I'm struggling to use that. But anyway, it's a guy who plays around with computers and does sampling and did this god-awful song called These Are the Last Days of James Lloyd Evans. Now this artist, I can't use the word artist, so this guy called James Vullu, clearly not his real name, did this song, and he was doing it just to get, bizarrely, more views, and it's up in his SoundCloud and YouTube, and subsequently, bizarre, this guy has got so many SoundCloud accounts, YouTube accounts and Twitter accounts that he keeps on retweeting and liking his own material to look like it's an independent person that's actually liking this stuff. In fact, on his SoundCloud channel, he actually has the audacity to have one of his own accounts go on to his on another account with the songs on and actually really big himself up, self-publicising himself, saying that he really is just like so many other artists. He's even done a tweet recently where he's got all these artists that he said people have likened him to there's probably it's himself liking himself too, and even puts in the artist Ian Curtis. Now, if anybody knows about Ian Curtis was not a solo artist. So likening him to the solo artist Ian Curtis is a little bit odd, and I did pull him up about this and said, "Oh, Ian Curtis solo material sounds fantastic. Can you send me any links?" Needless to say, there have been no links forthcoming because, of course, Ian Curtis has never been a solo artist and will never be a solo artist because he's dead. But he was the lead singer and lyricist, and didn't do all the lyrics, in a band called Joy Division. And I used to, funnily enough, own his kitchen table at one point. So no points for that attempt. And he really had it in for the Magnificent Seven at one point, saying they were just as bad as the governing body and Lloyd Evans, and was going to send Lloyd, despite doing this song called The Last Days of James Lloyd Evans, actually going to send Lloyd all the screen grabs of people talking about him, referring to the Magnificent Seven as being like the governing body. It just goes on and on and on. And it's a shame why he called himself Stephen Fuller, because he has a completely normal name of Stephen Albert Horn. That's his real name, and depending on which social media account you care to view, he's either living in Crete or Ontario in Canada, but he might just put up another account and where he's living in Crewe or Nantwich. I don't really know, but apparently he puts these things on his various social media accounts and says that I am, what am I doing? I'm tracking him down. Really, honestly, I'm not interested on, literally if you go into his YouTube account, right, it's like no views, 3 views, 1 view, 5 views. It's just like, it's like Lloyd Evans. At some point you have to admit, I need to do something else with my life, put more time into doing other things, because clearly this is, nobody's listening. And actually, when you look at his own Twitter account, whenever he puts any tweets, the only re-quoting of his tweets or liking tweets is bizarrely by another one of his accounts liking his own account. It's very, very sad. So Stephen Albert Horn, if you're out there listening, please, mate, go and do something else, because you are never ever going to, if you haven't made it by now, you're never going to make it at all. A little bit of advice from one failed musician to a failed sampler. Anyway, I just thought I'd end up on that note. What else was I going to say? I think that's about it, yeah. So 4 days off now. And tomorrow, for those who may have forgotten about it, is the start of the Ryder Cup, where the best in Europe play the best in American golf. So me and my son are going to be sitting down watching that with hopefully a bottle of champagne ready to drink, hopefully on Sunday when Europe win, please, because last time 2 years ago it was awful. And Saturday night we're going to watch, which means might miss a bit of this, we're going to watch the extended version of The Return of the King. So fair looking forward to this, and apparently the film starts at 7:30 and finishes at 12:15, and this time we're going to stay at the end of the titles, because that's when you get all these lovely pictures of everybody who appeared in the films, and probably knowing that'll be the last time ever, and I think it's going to be quite an emotional event for me. Started off before Benjamin was born, and subsequently went all the way through his life, and now we're coming to the end of it. So I think, yeah, it's a closing of that chapter, actually. But anyway, on that note, I'm going off. I will leave a link in the thread on Reddit, so if you want to amuse yourself and have a little bit of a laugh at Lloyd's expense, obviously do that. I can only think that Lloyd himself, there's no way he's missed this, because it's all over Twitter as well. And I'd love to see his response to this. Is he going to say that, oh, these are all ex-JWs? It's not. It's clearly not. It's clearly normal people all over the world, in their thousands, are looking at this segment of the video and thinking, oh my God. Anyway, imagine. Right, I'm off. Bye-bye.